Every city in America has a catalog pavilion. I was looking for something to differentiate Dallas and to drive good architecture into the neighborhoods. There have been parks in Dallas since probably the mid-1880s. Park system expanded and grew as the city grew through the 20s, the 30s. There was a tremendous expansion in the park system in the 50s and 1960s when Dallas's population rocketed. And that's when a lot of parks were put in, a lot of pavilions were put in. The earliest pavilions in Dallas that are still standing in the park system date back to the 1920s. We have two of them. One sort of a neoclassical Spanish revival, and the other one just a kind of a typical, I'd call it even a Greek revival pavilion. Then during the 1930s, the CCC, Civilian Conservation Corps, had a camp in Dallas. They built several pavilions in the city, and in the WPA, Works Progress Administration effort, also built another 5 or 6 pavilions. Then the next phase was the 1960s when the city was in this vast period of expansion. There were 42 pavilions built in between roughly 1963 and 1970 that we call the concrete T pavilions. By the early 2000s, they were in not great condition. They were leaking. They had a low ceiling. They were dark. They were deemed unsafe. And so that's when we began to really take a hard look at replacing those pavilions with something new and different and lively and enjoyable for the people. One of the things I like about this and about Dallas is we've made heavy investment in citywide grand public facilities in downtown Dallas, and stadiums and arenas and concert halls and symphony halls. But to me, the Pavilion program says that the small things in the city matter as much as the big projects. And so we've been able to introduce really high quality architecture throughout the city. We have probably 35 pavilions now scattered throughout the city, all of outstanding design. And I think that's what really differentiates Dallas and its park system from park systems in other cities, is the high quality of design and in the most seemingly insignificant and unimportant structures and facilities. It sort of has permeated down to the lowest level. Originally, with the 2003 bond program, we actually put out a request for qualifications and proposals. We had meetings where architects could come in and learn what it was like to work for the city. We were involving architects that had never done municipal work before. A lot of them were nervous about a contract with the big city of Dallas and the insurance requirements. So we made sure that they understood that there were no surprises. Their deliverables were basically a 1/4 inch scale wood model. So we've got models of almost all the pavilions at exactly the same scale. And basically a 24 inch by 36 inch poster board that shows the design. got to have a commitment to great design that requires some good architects on your staff. And if it's a smaller city that doesn't have an architectural project management staff, I would recommend that maybe they engage an architect as a program manager that could work with them to implement a design program in public structures. If we compare one of our pavilions with a park that might have a catalog pavilion, what's the difference? How do people react to one versus the other? And depending on what the design is, the pavilion might make them happy or want to go out into the park. But I think maybe most importantly, it makes them proud of living there adjacent to in that neighborhood, or proud that that's their park, or proud that they want to keep the pavilion maintained and safe and graffiti free. I think pride is one of the most important things of this program, and one of the things that distinguishes it from normal, unremarkable buildings and structures.